Alright, what is up, PvE family? It's your boy, PvE Crickout, back at it again for another video in another week. So today, as you can tell by the title, I gotta do my Banlist video. You know, we gotta talk about it, especially me. I really want to talk about this because it's like a very important thing to me. So yeah, we're just gonna go over it. I'm not gonna not doing anything fancy or anything like that. We're literally just pulling up the picture from Dragon Ball, and we're just gonna talk about it. So if you guys, I feel like everybody should know by this point. If you play this game, you should know what goes on. But you know, these 5 cards on the left were banned that are under my camera. You know, we got a couple limits, erratas, and unbans. So I don't really want to go over them too much because, again, everybody should know. But maybe a little bit of specific things. So on the limits, I'm actually surprised that they hit something like Janemba. I think we were all expecting a ruler, but actually before all this, I want to talk a little bit about like how we go about getting these things to happen. You know, for I don't even know how long it was that we were posting about. Oh my God, we need to ban Belmont. We need to ban. We need to ban King Vegeta. Blah 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 blah. And this is kind of like an opinion-based thing, if you want to take it some way. So, but we have I think that we have too much of like negative feedback, not negative, but like bad feedback, like complaining and the way that people complain about things. And, you know, it's gonna happen. You know, communities get big, and people start to act a certain way, but. And you can't cater to everyone. You can't make everybody happy. It's just like Brian, you know, Android. I saw him say it. He made a video about a wide-ranging ban list before, and he got like super shit on for it. You know, 300 comments. A lot of them were negative, and now we get basically an e-ban. I mean, they said update to their ban list, but realistically, I mean, it was an emergency ban. They needed to continue fixing some of the stuff that they left out, and on is like another thing, like amazing job, like wow, like what a great ban list this was. But yeah, like and you know, I probably won't, you know, it's not super influential. I'm not gonna be able to change many people's minds, and people will just shrug me off, sure, but I'm very confident in saying that we need to be a little bit more positive. You know, look at Evan Glover. You know, I talked to him when I went to the Houston PBG, and I like to consider him a friend now. I mean, what, like he's just a great guy. Like he's super chill. Like you can talk to him about anything. You know, like DBS wise, he loves Invoker, loves this thing, and people kind of misinterpreted that a lot. You know, positivity is positivity, and I think we need more of that in this community. Not necessarily that I'll be another beacon for that, because to be honest, I'm not the most positive person ever, but like we need to be more constructive about how we complain. What's his name? Dean Hopkins, pure TCG, like he was very great about it. You know, like constantly harping on the Belmont thing, and again, he got shit on for it at first, but I thought he was absolutely right. I mean, I'm somebody that's played Belmont since, as I said, I can't remember. Basically, since it came out. I mean, Gohan, I play in Gohan, and ever since it's like, okay, this allows me to extend in a way that I shouldn't be able to, and it gives me like things. So, you know, back then it wasn't broken, but my opinion is that ever since Bandai printed the word unique and put it on these broken cards like thwarting, you know, the Sunshine on TP, like Belmont needed to go, and I'm sad to see my boy go, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, this is just the thing, you know. We should. I think that we should try to be a little bit more constructive with how we do things. No matter what it is, you know, talking to new players, talking to people that are asking questions. You know, people in the comments are always like, "Oh my God, read the freaking card," blah blah blah. Dumb question, like, yeah. To some extent, but you really like, you can't be saying that to somebody that's new to the game, you know. I'm not gonna sit here for another like 15 minutes talking about this, but you know, bottom line is just be a little bit more constructive with how we say things and how we try to go about doing things because we know that we have an impact. You know, Bandai is in that group. They pay attention. They look at things. So if we are going to call for something to get hit or whatever, like we need to try to be a little bit more constructive about it, and give reasonings, have good discussions with people about it, even if they disagree with us. We can still disagree and be friends. Um, but yeah, let's talk about the ban list itself a little bit more. So we have the Talon Belmont and Resolute. I think went into that deck too. Ban. They, I mean, like we kind of know why we got banned, right? Another card that got eroded from that deck, King Vegeta. Like that deck was just too powerful. Ever since it got released, and I played like red green with the Piccolo burn and stuff. It's just like I noticed that it was just too strong. You know, you're able to kill turn two with Piccolo burn and Resolute and all this stuff. You're just creating all this free advantage, and that's the thing that they did very extremely well on this ban list, and I'm like very happy for. They expanded on their Beerus and like Pan hit that they were supposed to be hitting free cards, and they just kept going and like they expanded on this, which is great, and they actually hit like most everything that they needed to hit that represented a problem at the current moment. After this ban list, after any ban list or whatever, you might always be thinking, oh my god, well now this is gonna, and that's just how things go. Things rotate, and well, let's see what the next problem is that we have to complain about is, right? But like this is an amazing ban list overall, and I think KV was the biggest thing that needed to hit because FTK nobody should be dying on one energy, going first. If I go first and I pass turn, I shouldn't be expecting to be put down to like one life or even dying or getting anywhere close to that. So, I mean, that's the only argument there. That's why they banned Tower. I think I would have been okay with an Earthling around at the Tau, but regardless, it was a good choice. I'm surprised that they hit the last Resolute, but it also makes sense. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just RNG. Um, it's just like any other limit. I mean, Heartfelt, you see your one of, like Dark Broly, turn 2 or 3 when you awaken or whatever. Like, I feel like that one could have also seen like a definitive ban for the same reason, but they didn't. The one I'm the most surprised about in this ban list is actually the Goku. Not so much the Janemba because I've played Janemba before and I've played Planet Vampa before, so those didn't really surprise me as much. It makes sense, but the Goku makes sense. Free crit that comes in and then just like warps something. I'm also very surprised that they actually followed through and banned Mecha and unbanned U9. I think that's a relatively good move. I know that when you say Mecha is a design limiter, people get triggered and they start shitting on you, but it was. I mean, it is. They just didn't like reboot it properly. They made a mistake again, and they didn't do it justice. So it just has to go again. They made it way too powerful, and an ability like that Mega has should have never came back. And I literally thought this ever since the reboot was like even like revealed. I'm like why would you even do this? Like being able to play these extra cards for free is just way too powerful, man. And I'm glad that they ended up taking the correct action. I think banning U9 crippled the deck enough to not be like tier 0, but it would have still been tier 1. And it would have continued like creating limiting design. It's the same with Baby. And I'm also glad that they hit Planet Tuffle in a very good way, too. The erratas I can talk a little bit about more if you don't know what they are, but again, I feel like if you play this game, you should know. Limit on New Ruler, again, sensical, like everybody was kind of like wanting that. I think this is one of those cards that the RNG doesn't really matter. Like if you see your one copy, it's not like super impactful. Sorry, let me turn off. But like if you see your one copy, okay, whatever, 20/20 double, you can't block. You should still be expecting it whenever it's a possibility for it to come down. And yeah, I mean, it's a very good, like, the issue was being able to play it every turn. I think I'm okay with you being able to play it one turn. And the same thing with Janemba. Like, Janemba, honestly, a lot of people might not understand, but when I play my Gohan deck, like, what this Janemba allowed me to do on turn 3 was absolutely freaking disgusting. Like, you play this, like, You have a Janemba 2 cost on board, or I don't know, 3 cost if you play Kidku or something. Janemba 2 cost swing. This is obviously this is assuming like no counters or whatever, but still, like it's the concept. You swing with a skillless, you play this guy, swing 2, and then every swing from this chain is crit. Like you get 5 crit swings total. You get 2 19Ks, you put a ball under it, you play this 4 drop that swings and either removes something or you get even more extension, drawing and untapping an energy, and then you get to evolve this other card on top of it that draws 2, and then untaps itself and is a dual like 25 crit. So like hitting this card greatly hinders the generic ability to play the chain in any deck other than set 12 Janemba. Not that I think that set 12 Janemba is like a great deck, but it was very efficient at playing this Janemba chain, and now you can't like super generically play it unless you get lucky again, see that RNG and see that 1-of. So, and then from the errata parts, I think this was great. Um, I, I feel like people are gonna say Dark Broly is dead again. It's not. Matter of fact, it might still be a tier 1 deck, but you still have you have to pay for your cards now. You don't get to just play the Gogeta engine basically for free in your deck, because now you have to pay for your 30Ks. Paying 1 for a 30K still like extremely strong and could still prove to be somewhat of a problem, but you're not playing them for free now, and you don't have Belmont. Somebody that plays Dark Broly, like I don't play this deck. Somebody that does play it, like I forgot his name, Melt. Sorry, I can't remember. But like somebody on our PvE team, like John who plays it, or Tony, whoever plays it, like they can probably tell you better. But this deck should still be a tier deck. And this is another thing that I really like about how Bandai does their ban lists. Like they have again like hit all these decks without killing them, in my opinion. Like Dark Broly's still good. Like Red Broly would still be good. Baby's still gonna be good. You just have to play it differently. King Vegeta is still good as a mid-range control deck, extremely good. Like the options the deck has is very good. It's just you don't get to play it for free anymore. You don't get to be brained about it anymore. Um, Planet Vampa and Tuffle hits I think were very good if you don't have any battle cards in play. Like over the top hits I think. I played like a 1-of Planet Vampa when I did play Red Broly because I didn't like that card. And now there's even less reason for me to play it if I ever played it again. But the whole Tuffle thing was good. Sorry if you can hear my chickens in the background, but yeah, Planet Tuffle hit I think is excellent. I think the problem with Baby was that it was able to create an offense out of defense, and it like basically negated your combo step, as Scott Dashi has said before. And I think this hit to Planet Tuffle is just excellent. I mean, it revokes that ability, and if you want to still have that ability, you get a little bit punished for it. You can play your Floodgate, and then that's it. Or you have to you have to play around it now. And Young Invader hit, I think, might have been a little bit too much. I think you could have kept the one during your turn free, personally. But again, their whole point was to like remove free stuff. So at least they kept it consistent. It takes a rat energy now, and I think that's fine. Like I said, KV is still going to be a strong deck. And then unban on U9 I think is good because you can. It's just a generally good card. For yellow decks and U9, I think it's just great. So having talked about this, where is our format going to go from here? They've had a lot of stuff. They have had a lot of the very strong stuff that prevented other things from being played. So what am I worried about? What do I think that's going to be good? And I'm going to miss a lot of stuff. I don't play everything. I don't look at it. I try to look at everything at least to have an idea. But Bandai likes to boost old stuff all the time. So normally as far as I go is testing the set decks for a little bit. I never go and test all the old cards that are supposed to go into the new decks. But I do have a couple decks that I'm potentially worried about going into the next format, and they are still relatively new decks. I think set 13 in general could be seeing a little bit of a problem. Even Mechacabra, something like Mechacabra, I think was already extremely strong when it came out, but the problem was that, again, it's the same Mechacabra, King Cold, Blue Gohan, even a 12 deck like Gogeta, they all got overshadowed by like this tier 0 meta. And then even after the first ban list, they didn't hit the decks well enough. So they were still a little bit overshadowed. But after this ban list, there's only two decks that I'm like legitimately potentially worried about, and that's King Cold and Gogeta. I already didn't like King Cold. At first, I always say this. At first, I actually thought King Cold wasn't going to be good because of the aggro meta, but that deck has very well proven that it's an extremely strong contender. And matter of fact, because of a card like Royal Supremacy, I couldn't remember the card for a second. That card is insane, and like the deck just like you can't counter field cards, um, unless you no you can't actually, but I believe. But like it's an extremely strong strategy that you really can't interact with, and then everything else that it does around it is just kind of an extension of that. Like the field cards on their own are extremely strong, and how the leader revolves around them is just really strong. Tools that it has are very dangerous, especially for aggro. And unless you are like blue, which is the one reason that it might not be as strong, it kind of struggles into blue, especially if somebody's like sides Zeno and just like -5s on you, or they naturally play Zeno. Um, like it has a tough time in the blue, I think, and since blue might be seeing more play in Soul Striker now, it might not be as much of a problem. But I don't know. I'm worried about King Cold, but that's just my opinion. And then Gogeta has already been like a good rogue deck. Uh, and it's just really strong. Like it can go really fast without Belmont. I don't know if it can turn 2 kill you, but like 100% turn 3. That deck is extremely strong and goes fast. So I'm a little bit worried about it. Maybe after this ban list, I have my friend Ben from Locals. Like he's always been like very worried about this deck and preaches it to us in the chat. And maybe after this ban list, family that will come to fruition. But I don't know. Um, like you really don't know because the format hasn't even started. Like we're all just talking hypotheticals and speculating, which I don't necessarily like to do. But I think at the start, like immediately after an event, I think it's okay to speculate. I don't think it's okay for so long, because things happen, whatever. But it's good to have like this kind of theory crafting at the start, right? So those are the couple of decks I'm kind of worried about. What I think can come back or come into the meta now. So many things. I mean, like this opens me up for Mass Saiyan. It's still turn 2, kind of. But like, there's still a couple of really fast decks like Mass Saiyan. Again, Gogeta is very fast. I would arguably say that Mass Saiyan is the fastest deck in the format now. And if you don't believe me, it's because you either don't know how to build it, or you're not like, you might be a little bit newer to the game, or you just don't see it. But I'm telling you right now that Mass Saiyan is arguably like the fastest deck in the meta now. And it's not bad. It's matter of fact, I've actually been having a really good time with it. It's very skill intensive. You still have things like Majin Vegeta. Always shout outs to VSA. What a great group, man. Frank Castle is the fucking man. I love that guy. Love you, Frank. I don't know if he would even bother watching this, but I love VSA. What a great group. They're always talking about, obviously, Majin Vegeta is a Vegeta card. So I've been seeing people like talk about that, and Star Vegeta. Star Vegeta is also a very, very good deck. I played against it in locals two times against my buddies, and it's it looks like a very solid deck. It's relatively fast too. It'll like put you down in life very fast because Unison gets double strike and you awaken turn 2. I think that deck is very solid. That and Majin Vegeta, they're still relatively fast decks. I don't think they're faster than Mass Saiyan, but every deck has its own perk, its own capability. So I still think Majin Vegeta is strong, by the way. Turn 3 is worse than turn 2, but depending on how you build it and what you do with it, it's good. And VSA, I've seen like Hirugarn variants. I've seen a lot of stuff. So people are very creative there, and I'm excited to see VSA, man. If y'all don't know that they made a team and stuff, very cool. There's a lot of people in it, and if I wasn't already part of a team, I would have joined without hesitation because they are some great people and they have a great group. So if y'all are not in Vegeta's Saiyan Army group, go join it because it's very good. But like, there's just so many decks, man. Like, Green Gotenks has been seeing some resurfacing, and it's very good. I did play against it in locals, and it looked like a very solid deck. I mean, all it added to that deck was like Bean and a couple of the Jet clans to make sure you still had green energy, right? But it's just like, that's what Bean does, man. Like, that's what Bean does to decks. It makes them a lot more oppressive. So we've got that. In terms of yellow decks, like Gotenks, Higher Dragon can maybe come back. Like, there's just too many decks to mention because the format has just become so much better. And I won't sit here for another like 10 minutes and spiel about 30, 50 more decks. But like, if there's a deck that you've been considering playing it and it's rogue or whatever, like AOD, Matt, whatever, play it, test it, like test the crap out of it, like make it work, man. Because I trust in you, and like I've been like testing Massain for like a lot now. Well, not as much testing as much sequencing and like brainstorming and tinkering a lot, but like, if you have something you believe in and you think you can make it work, trust in it, test it. Like, just do it, man. Like, if you're watching this right now and you have that idea, just do it. Like, I'm always free to help. Send me a message. I'll always brainstorm with you. Like, my friend Steve Collis, sent me a message about I won't say what deck it was, but he sent me a message about some dumb idea he had, and I'm like, you know what? This might not actually be too bad. I like to think I'm relatively objective on things and have a good knowledge on cards. So if you're ever hesitant about something, just hit me up, man. It's always a one-on-one, and I will always support you guys as much as I can because that's what I do. This is what this channel is for, man. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this generic Banlist video. There's a lot of people that make these kind of videos, but hopefully I was able to give some different insight into things, and it still was worth the watch. So if you did enjoy, I hope that you'll consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing for more future content, and maybe even hitting that notification bell to know when I do another upload. Not that I do it that often because I have school and stuff, and I'm not that creative when it comes to videos, but I do plan on streaming for a couple hours every Friday because I do go to school that day, and I can stream from there. I can't stream from home because my internet's poo-poo. But yeah, I hope that you guys will consider supporting the channel. And if you, I have to plug this because I'm a Massain guy. If you guys are interested in Massain stuff, please join hashtag CredGods with a Z at the end on Facebook for updates on that. I don't want to post too many videos on that, but I will be having some more updates on Massain soon if you're interested in that and you follow that. So join the group. There's some other people that post in there. And with that being said, peace, guys. Take care.